Hey Remarkable Lifers, this is Craig.
And this is KJ.
And today we're going to talk about the things that hold you back from moving abroad, or in our case, Mexico. Stay tuned. So in this video, we want to talk about the things that might be holding you back from taking that leap and moving to Mexico. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a big leap. And today we're going to be, really giving you some resources and talking about how you can overcome some of those things and maybe think about them a little bit differently.
Especially overcoming the fears.
Yes, we had those when we did it.
I mean, everybody does.
Yeah, our story is in 2022, we moved to Mexico. We live in Ajijic, Mexico. It's a lake town in the mountains, quite a beautiful place. There are plenty of places in Mexico that you might choose to go. But we sold everything. We quit our job. He quit his job. We sold our house. We sold all of our furniture.
Hey, I retired. I didn't just quit. I retired.
Well, you quit working. You quit working. And we were able to move abroad at 48 and 47.
Yes.
Yeah. And we never thought that was going to be possible. Yeah, make sure that he's younger than me. See, that's how I roll. I'm the old man. He's the young kid by 18 months. But so we did that in a variety of ways that we were able to make that happen for us financially. But that's going to be a future video because we've already discussed making that video for you and getting a little more bold about sharing some of the details about what we did. So make sure you subscribe, like, all of that stuff. Let's jump in. So as I mentioned before, this is a big leap. That's one of the things that hold people back. These are things that we've heard from other people that we've met, people that have done tours with us.
Subscribers, tours, all,
comments.
Emails, comments, everything,
yeah. It's just such a big leap. You're leaving everything you're changing your entire life, whether you choose to bring your things or not, what do you do? So how do you overcome that? And for us, it was a bigger leap than we thought it was at times, and then other times it was no big deal.
It was, but I think that the big thing is you make the decision, and this was something I saw in a lot of not news articles, but like commentaries on social media and articles that I read and all that kind of stuff is make the decision and do it.
Yeah.
You have to make the decision and then follow up. If you are maybe and you keep going, then you're never going to actually do it. You'll just talk yourself out of it. So everything I saw was like, if you want to do this, make the decision, put the plan in action, and go.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah, remember, no action is a decision. That is an action. And so
it is.
Making a plan, taking any kind of action, and we're going to talk to you in a minute about some of the things that might help you overcome this. So, but there's also a lot of people I hear talk about what's in the news and what the media and what people in general say about Mexico.
Especially the U.S. news media.
Yeah. It's really a picture of Mexico from the stereotypes and maybe a little bit from 40, 50 years ago that they're still carrying over.
Well, and also the U.S. news media, we all know this. They have a habit of, not just about Mexico, it's about anything. They take one little thing and they repeat it and recycle it and blow it up and just make it get out of proportion. You have to take all that stuff that you get on the news with a grain of salt. Do your research.
Yeah.
Get online. If you want some more accurate news, get outside of the U.S. and look at news from outside the U.S. news sources.
Yes, I agree. That brings us to the next step is once you've decided to do it and you've overcome the thought processes, qualifying. How do I do the process to qualify? It can be daunting because it's so unusual. It's different where everything works differently. And it's a little bit, sometimes working with Mexico is a little challenging. Same as with the U.S., just in a different way.
Yeah, it's dealing with Mexican government is a fun experience if you really like a challenge.
It can be.
You have to have a lot of patience. But, the thing is, whenever you're talking about qualifying for residency, there are so many amazing resources out there that are going to help you. And, we're one. Check out our website. We actually do north of the border immigration facilitation as well as consultations and can talk to you about that sort of stuff. It's, it doesn't have to be as scary as you think.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's ways around it. There's resources to help. Continue watching. We're going to get there. That's next. But,
sorry, I jumped ahead.
No, you didn't at all. We got plenty more. What if you don't qualify? What if you just know you've already done the research and you don't qualify? What are your other options to be able to experience living in Mexico temporarily? Even there are some options out there. So
yeah,
and also the language. The language, everybody is scared to death. What do you think? That's a big one.
There's nothing to be scared of. Here's the thing. Are you going to sound like an idiot? Yep. Are you ever going to speak like a native Spanish speaker?
No.
Nope. You have to grow up in a language to actually really sound like a native speaker.
And there's so many people here who don't even try. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. They don't really try to learn Spanish, or they have it in their head that they cannot.
Right.
And even if they want to, they just they're afraid of it. And I really feel that there's some things that you can do before, and there's so many things here that people don't take advantage of for getting involved in that way. And understanding it.
Yeah, and just remember, if you truly believe that you cannot, then you will not.
Exactly. It's all about that belief. Yeah. Also, safety. We hear this a lot. I'll brush over this real quick. Safety in Mexico. Am I going to be safe? We heard everything from, oh no, well, I guess you're going to die in Mexico, to that we're going to starve to death, to, you're going to get robbed in the streets. Well, we'll start out by just saying Mexico is no different than any other country. There's places that are safe and there's places that aren't.
Yeah, exactly. And just like if you live in the U.S., you know places that you just are not going to travel to. You just know off the top of your head, oh, I'm not going to go vacationing there.
Yeah.
And I think it's the unknown.
It is. It really is the unknown.
When you live here, you learn about places that you don't want to go to. So I had a customer reach out to me this morning, and he sent me this TikTok video, and this guy was just going on and on and on and just making everything sound so horrible. And so I'm like, well, hold on. I went and did a little research, and I'm like, okay, check out this news article, this news article, this news article, and I'm sending him articles from Mexico, right? And I'm like, you have to take all that with a grain of salt.
It really is about location and understanding what the dangers are and who's targeted, all of that stuff. A lot of people are concerned about leaving their family behind or friends, and that is a big one. And there's so many different ways that you can stay in touch. There's so many different ways that you can visit back and forth. We'll give you a couple of those. And, it is a big deal right now. I'm going through it.
It's the 21st century, y'all. Craig and I, when we started dating, we had a 3-year long-distance relationship. And, and that was, 14 years ago? Mm-hmm. And there are so many new technologies that you can utilize that will not make you feel like you've abandoned your family,
right.
Or it's amazing what you can do with technology today to stay connected.
WhatsApp is an app and we're not sponsored by WhatsApp. I know it's going to sound like a commercial, but it's not. It's an amazing app. It's pretty much used everywhere in the world except the United States, and you can just voice note, just touch something and start speaking, and that person gets it instantly, or a video call and face-to-face, and it's all Wi-Fi. So there's so many different things. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Yeah.
But so how do you overcome some of these things, and what are those resources that you can use or you can research to do this process, to understand the process?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna let's go through a couple of those. I have a list. So, number one, there are so many people out there right now on social media who are educating the masses about what Mexico is. And I'm sure this applies to every country where people go to live.
Yeah, and the best resource obviously is our channel.
Absolutely.
We're
best
one of
resource.
Them. Make sure that you go back and watch everything we've ever done.
We actually have a playlist called From the Beginning, and it starts you at the beginning of this journey that we've taken.
Yeah.
So you can binge watch us, do a little bit of Outlander, and then binge watch us.
Yeah,
but anyway. But there's other channels. There's other social media outlets. There's people out there who teach a word a day, a concept a day, cultural things, cooking, all of those things. If you love cooking, I'm telling you right now, the best way to learn the culture in Mexico is to dive into the food. Follow one of those cultural food people. It's so amazing to watch.
There is an amazing channel. Her name is La Carancita is the name of the channel, and everything from Spanish language to culture to news to all of these topics and stuff. It's an amazing channel. Yeah, that's a really great resource.
There's another channel out there that we love. It's the Besses in Mexico, and it's a brand new channel, very new. They don't have very followers, but it's really a great resource to look at for actually firsthand experiencing new things.
Yeah,
and their
brand new people. Yeah,
their excitement over seeing something beautiful and a new experience really does kind of set you in that mood of what it's like.
Yeah, it's really good. And if you're interested in looking at like different places in Mexico, what might this town or this village or this city be like and everything, go check out Gringos R Us. They actually, for the last 3 years, they have been doing this slow travel across Mexico and staying in different cities, and they talk about a lot of different things. And that's another great channel to see that travel in all these different locations.
Or Brighton West, almost retired in Mexico. Yeah. Ernie Baca with
Retired Life
No Bull. They really talk about what it's really like. Or I know Brighton interviews other people to talk about how they do it, and it really gives you that breadth of information.
Yeah, when you're looking at other channels, make sure that you're looking at people that are giving you good, reliable information and not the sensationalist stuff.
Right. If it seems sensational, it probably is.
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah, if they're doing sound effects and all this stuff. Or
even just the shocking things, everything's a big shock, it's not.
Everything's not a shock.
No.
Sometimes it's just beautiful to see, or sometimes it's just different, and it's not catastrophic.
Yeah, exactly.
So use your best judgment on those things.
Yes.
But following those people on social media, on YouTube, but also there are resources out there like Mexico Relocation.
Yes, that is a phenomenal resource. Whenever we made the decision to move to Mexico, one of our biggest challenges was we had an elderly dog. There was no way we could fly him. We knew it was the only thing that would work would be to go overland with him. Yeah. And I just kept looking online trying to find a pet transport company or something like that, and I just kept seeing the Mexico Relocation Guide popping up. And it talked about the trusted, vetted resources. And I look at Craig and I was like, I'd pay that amount of money just for someone to give me the name and a contact phone number.
Exactly.
You know? And so we went ahead and we subscribed to it, and it was just phenomenal. The amount of information there is insane, and it is kept current and recent and all that stuff, and you get access to a private Facebook group with people that are doing the same thing that you're doing in real time. And
we actively know people who met and made friends through those groups.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And are now friends.
Yeah.
In real life. So it's an interesting little community that's really grown up around it. We would have recommended it with or without, but we will be honest, we are an affiliate seller on that.
Yep.
So if you use our link on our website, go to trulyremarkablelife.com, go to the affiliates and services link, and we have an affiliate link there for you.
So we do get a little kickback from that. But I tell you, we've lived here in Mexico for 3 years, and I still use the guide. When we're going to travel to another city that we haven't been to, I'm looking up information, about that place.
Yeah.
We still use it.
Yeah, this is not a paid ad. This is us being excited about when we opened it. It just laid everything out.
It's amazing.
And it's pretty amazing. So, but there's so many ways that you can prepare for the process. There's resources for the process. Mexico Relocation Guide, they have vetted people who can be facilitators to guide you through each step of the process. And these are vetted people with good reputations. You don't have to go hunting and wonder if you're going to get taken. We also have resources that we offer for local places.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is here locally, we're really trying to let y'all have the benefit of our experience because we had to learn some things the hard way. And so we actually have built this network of people that know how to do different things and are, they're well versed in immigration processes, getting your car titles, getting your RFC, doing all this stuff. And so you contact us, and then we help facilitate your connection with these people here in the Lake Chapala area to help you get through anything that you need to get through.
Yeah. So at every level, there's a resource out there that you can kind of tap into and use at your level of need. So it's really, really convenient.
That's really what it's about. Trying to make, you have a lot that you're dealing with if you're thinking about moving to another country. You have a lot dealing with your house, your cars, your stuff, all of that sort of stuff. What are you doing in the U.S.? You're dealing with all that. Let people here in Mexico help you with the processes down here, and it will make the transition so much easier.
And it's not as expensive as you think.
No.
But then there's how to prepare yourself and how to prepare your life. So qualifying is a thing. There's requirements, financial requirements, and all of that. And so how do you set your life up to be able to do that either now or later? Maybe you're looking down the road in the future. You want to be able to explore like us. That's the first thing we talked about when we met, was wanting to live someplace outside of our current country because we just wanted to experience something different.
And I always wanted to be fluent in Spanish. And so
same here.
That was like a life goal, and I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It's slow, poco a poco. It's slow, but I'm getting there. And so,
Yeah, it was a 14-year journey for us, or about 12-year journey, 11-year journey for us.
I decided at 19 I wanted to
us.
us, yes.
Yeah, and then the time before that.
Yeah.
So, but there's other resources out there, like there's people who do different kinds of YouTube channels. One of our favorites is Queer Money Podcast. They've been on all the big news channels and all of that stuff. And they really talk about the unique situation that people who are in the queer community, LGBTQIA, have. So it is nuanced towards that, but the advice is just good for everybody.
Yeah. Their content's really good. They have good, solid, sound financial advice. Yes. And here's the thing, it may not apply to you.
Yeah.
It may not apply to you. You may choose to do something differently. They talk about what they did.
Yeah, and you can also maybe just get a little bit of understanding of how to be creative with planning ahead for this type of a journey.
Yeah.
But also there's Entrepreneur Expats. They're a great little couple. We love them to death. And they talk about how they worked and how they were able to create some passive income and all of that. So if you want to get out of your career and maybe start something different.
And they have a lot of stuff about, like current events and things going on and changes in qualifying for residency and all of that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
So they're another really good resource.
There's resources out there for remote jobs. People, we've seen people switch jobs while they're trying to think this out, so that they have a job that they can bring with them if you want to work. Or there's retirement. I mean, you may be planning to retire. You don't have to wait until you're done and retired to start this process. You may be able to do it early.
You don't have to wait until you're 60 or 65 to retire. There are so many different options. Yes. People believe that. And we're going to do some videos about that sort of stuff, actually being able to do different things.
Let's jump to the next one. So Spanish, learning Spanish. If you move to Mexico, you're going to need to know some Spanish. You don't want to be the one standing in the aisle at the grocery store speaking too loudly because you think that's the way you communicate in a wrong language.
Here's a hint. You getting louder and louder and louder in English is not going to make anyone understand you any better.
When you get frustrated, it's so helpful to have a phrase. Estoy aprendiendo español. I'm learning Spanish. To get you out of that jam, instead of getting more and more frustrated. And that's where learning a little bit ahead of time. Again, follow people on Facebook, Instagram, social media, all that stuff. There's YouTube channels. What's his name?
Q Paul.
Yes. Okay. So he does some great things online. He has really, really an interesting way of looking at learning the language.
Yeah, his video series on learning Spanish is really amazing.
Yeah.
Helped me a lot, too.
It did. Doing all those little things, Duolingo or Babbel or any of those little programs, every little bit you can throw at yourself, even if you're listening to Spanish music, getting your ear familiar with it, all of that stuff can help.
Well, and it's really important to note, I mean, and it does depend on where you're going, right? English is a very popular second language here, okay? And what I will say is, especially here in the Lake Chapala area, you know, and this is where we live, so I can talk about it a lot more in depth than other places. But so many people, so many native Spanish speakers here are trying to learn English, especially younger people,
Yes.
because they understand that their job prospects are better if they are bilingual. It's the same thing in the U.S. If you are bilingual, your job prospects shoot through the roof.
Right.
And they understand that. And so there's people here, they're trying to learn English, you're trying to learn Spanish, and so you're helping each other. I mean, it's not uncommon to see a native Spanish speaker and a native English speaker having a conversation where the native Spanish speaker is actually speaking in English and you're speaking in Spanish, and you're correcting in a very beautiful, kind way. You're correcting words, but you're getting your point across. The main thing when you're learning another language, it's not perfection. It's to communicate what you're trying to communicate.
It's to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how few words you can use with some sign language and some pointing.
Your eyes pointing.
Yeah. You can really get by as you're learning, and it's an interesting and fun process.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of times when you're trying to speak back and forth to each other, you end up giggling.
Oh, yeah.
They're laughing at you. You don't care. You're laughing right back with them. And you use the wrong words. Who cares? If they know, in this area especially, they know we're here. They know we're trying to learn. And if you're interested in learning, they're so helpful.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
think I've ever only a few people I've ever run into that wasn't interested in helping me.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
But think about this. There are entire courses where people pay to go down to Mexico or go to another country and immerse themselves in the language with a family or with a school or whatnot. And you can manage that kind of a process yourself. You can come to Mexico, especially in this area or in any other area. It's really good for this one because there are a lot of expats here that speak English, and so you have kind of a soft place to land. But you can stay in a different kind of. You don't have to be in a resort. You can stay in an apartment. There's short-term rentals. We have an agent for that.
There are all kinds of rentals, short-term rentals, all
yeah.
that sort of stuff, everywhere.
It's less expensive, and you can really live and go buy your groceries and go to the market and interact with different people and get that experience of using it once you're comfortable and stretch yourself a little bit.
And here's another thing. Google Translate on your
Yes.
phone. Everyone uses that. I get in a jam sometime and I just go, un momento, necesito mi traductor, and pull out my cell phone and just start going. And everyone's so used to it. You show them, they'll just take the phone and just start typing out responses, and you'll go back and forth.
Or use the voice option and
or you
just
can
speak into the phone.
You can use the voice option.
Translates.
It's amazing.
There are teachers here that teach Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
And English and back and forth. And you can set up things with them. Or that Lake Chapala Society has
tons of
classes. Yeah.
We're obviously very passionate about learning the language. So.
It's so much fun. It has been one of the best things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And when you cross that bridge of, ooh, I just understood those people as they walked by, it's just another level. Mm-hmm. You're just like, yes, I did it.
It is. It's awesome.
So we encourage everybody to at least get a start. And then we're going to say, finally, talk to the Mexicans in your community. Ask them questions. Interact. Don't tell them what you know. Ask them. If it's in May and you're like, Cinco de Mayo, is that actually a big holiday in Mexico?
Yeah. What is it?
And what is it in Mexico? And they'll be like, oh, well, actually, no, it's not really that. It's only a part of the country, and it's not really a big deal. Or, hey, we have Halloween. Are your kids trick-or-treating? Great. Do you guys do Dia de Muertos here? In the States or in Canada? Do you guys do that with your family? What do you do? Get into a conversation. Be curious.
And here's the thing. Mexican people are very, very proud of their culture and their heritage, and rightfully so. And they want to share. If you have a genuine curiosity and a desire to learn about Mexico and the culture and all that kind of stuff, they want to teach you because they are very proud, and it's a beautiful thing.
Being open, I want to kind of close this out or round it out by saying, it doesn't just have to be a dream. If you take some sort of actions towards it, even if it's just getting on Duolingo, watching a few videos, going and taking a cooking class for Mexican cooking. Any of those things can kind of lead you to the next step. And it doesn't have to be a dream. It could be an option. Maybe not now, maybe not, this week, but you could plan it for your future. And it might be closer than you think. For us, it absolutely was. We were here, we decided we wanted to do it, and within 4 months, we were living here. And we were like, what just happened?
What happened? I think it might have been 5, maybe. I don't remember exactly. But
June to October. Let's just say that
it was. It was very, very fast. And another thing that I think I wanted to point out is Mexico is a very large country.
Yes.
I know when I lived in the U.S., I didn't realize that. I always thought that it was going to be consistent everywhere you go in Mexico. It's Mexico, right? Yeah. Mexico is huge. It is you go all over Mexico, and every different place has its own unique culture and history and heritage and all of these
dialect.
things. Food, dialects, accents, all of that sort of stuff. There's, different parts of Mexico where it was heavily Spanish or Chinese or, all kinds of different stuff. And so do your research and be curious and figure out what some of that stuff is because it's amazingly dynamic.
There's so many different places to live that could fit what you really like. This is where we found. And Ajijic is a beautiful place. Watch some of the videos we have on it if you're curious. But we've also been to San Miguel de Allende. We've also been to Cancun. We've also been to Puerto Vallarta,
Cabo, Mazatlan.
We have yet to go to Pueblo, Oaxaca. I mean, there's
Mérida,
you can try Mexico City. There's so many, and they're so diverse and beautiful, and you just have so many options. And we want to encourage you to be open to that, but start thinking about how you can overcome some of those things that are holding you back.
Yes, and just be curious and inquisitive and humble.
Yes,
humble.
And
yes.
If you decide not to make it a permanent move, you're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And learn a lot.
Absolutely.
In the process.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else?
No. I mean, I just think that everybody out there, if they haven't already,
they should go find their truly remarkable life.
Absolutely.
I think you should. Get on that. All right. Thank you guys. Take care.
Bye, y'all.